Engineer, problem solver. Engineer, problem solver. For science today, I need you to open up to page 90, and we're going to review what we know about forces. Page 90. So you know that a force is a push or a pull. Remember, a push moves away from you and a pull moves towards you. We also know that forces can be strong or they can be weak. Think about what kind of force you would need if you were going uphill. You would need a stronger force. But what about if you were walking on level ground? What kind of force would you need? You would need a weaker force. Remember also that we were talking about dog sleds, and the more dogs they had, the stronger the force was. So it also matters about how many people or how many animals and how big they are. Lots of things affect force, and force causes motion. On page 90, it's exploration 1, and it's called touchy touchy. Let's read this together. Pushing back. If you push or pull an object by touching it, you apply a contact force to it. When you use a contact force to push an object, the object pushes back. If you pull on an object, the object pulls you. Underneath is a picture of a playground, and it's going to show you lots of different forces. Some are pushes and some are pulls. So let's look at the picture. There are 4 pairs of contact forces. Let's try to find them. So we're going to label the arrows. So let's see if I can make this work here. So the first one that they've labeled is they've shown an arrow going this way. Do you see how her bat is pushing the ball that way? Well, what's the ball doing? The ball's actually pushing back because it's flying towards the bat. She's going to hit it and it's going to go back this way. So that's a contact force. The ball and the bat are coming into contact and they're both pushing each other. What's another force that you see in this picture? Contact forces. Well, I see this boy and his wagon. What's he doing with the wagon? Pushing or pulling? Well, he's pulling the wagon, which means that this is going this way. Sorry about the messy arrow. And then it's actually pulling back because it's a contact force. So as he's pulling the wagon's pulling him because he has to use a lot of force to get that big turtle to move. What's another force that you see? Well, I see this woman. She's pushing the stroller, which means she's pushing it this way. And what's the stroller doing? Well, it's pushing back. And whichever force is stronger is going to cause the motion. If she pushes harder than the stroller, then the stroller is going to move where she wants it to go. If she doesn't, then it's not going to move. Another force that I see is the swing. He's pushing the swing, and the swing is actually pushing back. Ooh, there we go. Okay. Now let's look at number 3 at the bottom of this page, wherever it may be. Here we go. It says when you blank on an object, it moves further blank you. Well, when you push or pull on an object, it moves farther toward you or farther away from you. Well, farther away from you makes sense in that spot. When you blank on an object, it moves farther away from you. So when I'm trying to get something to move away from me, do I push it or do I pull it? I push it. So when you push on an object, it moves farther away from you. When you blank on an object, it moves closer, blank you. Well, I know this one's going to make sense toward me, closer toward you. But how do I get it to do that? Do I push or pull? I pull. Let's check our work. When an object is pushed, it moves farther away. When it's pulled, it moves closer. Make sure you fill this out on page 90 before moving on. So if you need to pause the video, you can do that. Otherwise, let's look at the next page. Carefully balanced, page 91. Pairs of forces are either balanced or unbalanced. Balanced forces, look at this, forces that cancel each other out, but because they are equal in size and opposite in direction. So balanced forces are the same size and strength, but act in opposite directions. So there is no motion. Okay, they're the same things happening, the same strength or the same size, and because it's all the same, they cancel each other out. So no one moves, nothing moves, no motion. But when one force is stronger than the other, and the forces act in different directions, one pushes one way, one pushes the other, then they are unbalanced forces because they're different. Remember, meaning not, so not balanced, not the same. Here's a picture. The two dogs are evenly matched. They both pull with a force of 10. So notice this dog is pulling with a force of 10, and this dog is pulling with a force of 10. Here's the X, and here's the rope. Are they going to make any motion? No, because they're pulling with the same force. So they're going to be stuck right there until one of them pulls with a stronger force. Notice the X marks the center of the rope at the start. The rope hasn't moved even though both dogs are pulling. Now let's check out this one. Now one dog is playing tug of war with a big horse. The horse is stronger and pulls with a force of 40. So notice the dog is pulling with a 10 still. The horse is pulling with a 40. So are these forces balanced or unbalanced? Well, I know that these were balanced because they're the same, which means that these ones are unbalanced, not the same. Who's going to cause the motion? Well, the horse is, because he's using a stronger force. So which way is the rope going to go? It's going to go towards the horse. Notice where the X is. It used to be in the middle, but now it's closer to the dog. And the dog's going to be pulled over the X because the horse is using more motion. How about this one? A much stronger elephant takes the place of the dog and pulls against the horse. So the horse is still using a force of 40. The elephant's using a force of 100. Are these forces balanced or unbalanced? They're unbalanced because they're different. The elephant is pulling with a stronger force than the horse, so the elephant is going to cause the motion, and the rope is going to move towards the elephant. The horse is probably going to go with it. You can add all the forces that push or pull on an object. This sum, remember sum is a math word, it's when you add all of them together. The sum, adding all the forces, is called the net force. So the net force is when I add all of the forces together. For example, if I'm adding, let's go back to the dogs. If I'm adding all the forces together, I'm adding the 10 and the 10 for a total of a force of 20. If I'm adding all the forces together, I'm taking the 10 and the 40 for a net force of 50. See how that works? What would the net force be for the elephant and the horse? They have a net force of 140 because I added them together. If the animals pull with equal force, the forces are balanced. This is 0 net force. So then I would have to go back and I would say, oh, the dogs are balanced, so they actually don't have a net force of 20. They have a net force of 0 because they cancel each other out. So their motion, their force is 0 because no one is moving. They're balanced. So I'll say that again. If the animals pull with equal force, the forces are balanced. This is 0 net force. The motion does not change. So let's predict some winners. Okay, let's pretend that we're having a tug of war competition. This is number 5, by the way, in your book on page 91. So the first one is a big horse and another big horse. So we have big horse A and big horse B. They're the same size. So basically we're thinking of this horse right here. Imagine two of those pulling at a force of 40. If they're the same size, then they're probably pulling at the same amount of force. So who's going to win? It's going to be a tie. Why do I know that it's going to be a tie? Well, because they're pulling at the same force. So if they're pulling at the same force, there's not going to be a winner. They're both going to be stuck where they're at, kind of like the dogs, how they were pulling at the same force. So I know that the horses are going to have the same problem. They're going to be tied, which means that the forces, are they balanced or unbalanced? Are they the same? Then they're balanced. Let's think of another one, a big horse and an adult elephant. Well, we had that example right here, a horse and an elephant. The horse is pulling at a 40, the elephant is pulling at 100, so who's going to win? Who's pulling with the stronger force? The elephant. So the elephant is going to be my winner. Now the question is, are the forces balanced or unbalanced? Is the horse and the elephant pulling at the same force? No, so they're unbalanced. Let's do an extra one, a 10-year-old and an adult. Who's pulling with more force? Yeah, the adult is usually bigger, not always, but usually, so they're probably going to win. That's my prediction. And the forces are not the same, so they are unbalanced. You don't have this bottom one in your book, but you have these first two, so make sure that you fill out these first two in your book, and then you can keep moving on with the video. I'll be on page 92. On the top of page 92, it talks about funny cars. Funny cars is something really cool to research because they're actually made a little bit differently. So let's talk about forces in race cars. A powerful force from the engine pushes these race cars down the track. The cars move so fast that the brakes alone can't stop them. So think about that. The brakes in the car that slows the car down, they're going so fast that the brakes aren't enough. They need something else to stop them. So to stop the motion before the car runs off the end of the track, another force needs to act on the cars too. Let's watch this video. Forces acting on a car change from balanced to unbalanced or vice versa. Remember, if the forces are balanced, there's no motion. So right now, the forces are balanced because it's not moving. Hang on, I'm going to start that over. So no motion, so the forces are balanced, and then all of a sudden, look at, they're unbalanced. He's moving. And then did you see that at the end there? What did they use to stop the car? Do you see that? Those are little parachutes, and that actually slows the car down, causes the parachutes to catch the air, and it pushes the car back a little bit on top of using the brakes. So as soon as the car stops, it's back to a balanced force. But on that track, when it was racing, the forces were unbalanced. So this car goes from not moving to moving very quickly. When the car is stopped, the forces are balanced. Pushing the gas makes them unbalanced. This is number 6 in your book. When there is no motion, the forces are balanced. When the car begins to move due to pushing the gas pedal, the forces are unbalanced. Pause this to fill those 2 blanks out. Actually, yours aren't blanks, it's a sentence, so you can actually write this sentence right here. So you can pause the video and write this sentence. And the last one. A parachute rapidly slows this car down. How do the forces change as the brakes and parachute bring the car to a stop? Balanced to unbalanced, unbalanced to balanced, no change in forces. Well, think, it's going from moving to not moving. So it's going from unbalanced to balanced. And you can just write that answer on the blank there because I know you don't have the multiple choice, you have a blank. So when the parachute pulls on the car, it begins to slow down. The car will eventually stop where the forces will again be balanced. So balanced is the same, unbalanced is different. That's it for today.